Gavin's F1 stream starts in 2 minutes. It's nearly that hour, the chat's alive. Counting down, it's almost time. 2 more minutes, feel the heat. Gavin's voice is on the beat. From Monaco to Silverstone, every corner, every zone, we're strapped in, no turning back, racing hearts on the attack. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Gavin's stream is set to blow. Commentary fast and clean, it's the thrill of the F1 dream. Lap by lap he calls the fight, feel the rush, the speed, the light. Engine scream, the world's in view, and it all begins with you. Lights are red, tension's high. Gavin's got the play-by-play live. Every overtake, every spin. 3 more minutes till we begin. So grab your seats, don't look away. The race is here, it starts today. With Gavin's call, we're on the line. It's Formula One, it's showtime. Grab your popcorn and enjoy my stream. Gavin's one stream starts in 2 minutes. It's nearly an hour, the chat's alive. Down, it's almost time. 2 more minutes, feel the heat. Gavin's voice is on the beat. From Monaco to Silverstone, every corner, every zone, we're strapped in, no turning back, racing hearts on the attack. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Gavin's stream is set to blow. Commentary fast clean, it's the thrill of the F1 dream. Lap by lap, he calls the fight. Feel the rush, speed the light, engine scream. The world's in view, and it all begins with you. Lights are red, tension's high. Gavin's got the play-by-play lift. Every overtake, every spin. 3 more minutes till we begin. Don't look away, stay serious. We're shouting here today. Gavin's Formula One, showtime. Enjoy my stream. Grab your popcorn. Grab my
The stage is alive. Crowds are roaring, you can feel the drive. Mexico's the place. The world has come to play. Gamers locked in. It's the battle of the day. The tension's rising, hands on the keys. Every move echoed by the energy. And through the air, one voice we all know. It's Gavin calling every blow. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Gavin's voice like thunder in the sky. Guides the battle where legends will run. From Seoul to Berlin, they've flown far and wide to clash in the games with the nations side by side. Strategies collide. The world is watching every fight. The crowd is chanting, the match is tight. Headsets glowing in the neon light. Gavin shout makes the moment explode. Here we go, it's the final. millions know only one team takes the crown home. But here in Mexico, the spirit's the same. The world unites in the power of the game. The World Esports, Mexico tonight. Hearts are racing under shining lights. Gavin's voice, the anthem of the fight, drives the moment, champions ignites, ignite. The stage is alive. Crowds are roaring, you can feel the drive. Mexico's the place the world has come to play. Gamers locked in, it's the battle of the day. The tension's rising, hands on the keys, every move echoed by the energy. And through the air, one voice we all know, it's giving coal in every blow. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Kevin's voice like thunder in the sky guides the battle where legends will run. From Seoul to Berlin, they've flown far and wide to clash in the games with the nations side by side. Strategies collide, the world is watching every fight. The crowd is chanting, the match is tight, headsets glowing in the neon light. Gavin shout makes the moment explode. Here we go, it's the final showdown. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Gavin's voice like thunder in the sky guides the battle where legends will rise. Victory's calling, the champions know only one team takes the crown home. But here in Mexico, the spirit's the same. The world unites in the power of the game. The world esports, Mexico tonight. Hearts are racing under shining lights. Gavin's voice, the anthem of the fight, drives the moment, champions ignite. The stage is alive. Crowds are roaring, you can feel the drive. Mexico's the place the world has come to play. Gamers locked in, it's the battle of the day. The tension's rising, hands on the keys, every move echoed by the energy. And through the air, one voice we all know, it's giving, calling every blow. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Kevin's voice like thunder in the sky guides the battle where legends will run. From Seoul to Berlin, they've flown far and wide to clash in the games with the nations side by side. Strategies collide, the world is watching every fight. The crowd is chanting, the match is tight, headsets glowing in the neon light. Gate and shout makes the moment explode. Here we go, it's the final showdown. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Kevin's voice like thunder in the sky guides the battle where legends will rise. Victory's calling, the champions know only one team takes the crown home. But here in Mexico, the spirit's the same. The world unites in the power of the game. The world esports, Mexico tonight. Hearts are racing under shining lights. Kevin's voice, the anthem of the fight, drives the moment, champions ignite.
Drivers, start your engine!
Lights up, the stage is alive. Crowds are roaring, you can feel the drive. Mexico's the place, the world has come to play. Gamers locked in, it's the battle of the day. The tension's rising, hands on the keys, at every move that go by the energy. And through the air, one voice we all know is gathered, calling every blow. Whoa! World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future's shining bright. Gavin's voice, like thunder in the sky. Guides a battle where legends will rise. And from Seoul to Berlin, they've flown far and wide to clash in the games with the nation side by side. Strategies collide, reaction times ignite. The world is watching every fight. The world is watching every fight. The match is tight. Headsets glowing in the neon light. Cave and shout makes the moment explode. Here we go, it's the final showdown. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Kevin's voice, like thunder in the sky. Guides the battle where legends will rise. Victory's calling, the champions know. Only one team takes the crown home. But here in Mexico, the spirit's the same. The world unites in the power of the game. World esports, Mexico tonight. Hearts are racing under shining lights. Kevin's voice, the anthem of the fight. Drives the moment, champions ignite.
Well, good evening and welcome to this league race in Mexico this evening. Massive apologies to everybody who had tuned in and unfortunately has left us, but maybe they'll come back. This is Gavin Bass 1 on a Friday evening with the WERC Racing League at Mexico. Full qualification this evening and also a 50% race. A couple of the lads have already been out there with a 1:16.132 with Emery Bawes. Dank Fiber is in with a 1:18.106. Then we have Suspension driving the Ferrari this evening, and John DT puts in a 1:20.256 there. We have Sid driving the Aston Martin the Alpine this evening, and Kears in the Aston Martin. LFC James is out in the McLaren this evening, and Suspension is also in the Ferrari. Excuse me, guys, but I've got completely out of sync as things ran on a little late. H-Town Realtor is in the kick. Williams is in Rossi. IBN driving the Ferrari. Porky Lemur is in the Racing Bull, and WRT Rossi is in the kick this evening. Setters is in the Racing Bull. Banisher Bain in the Haas, and Daza driving the Mercedes. And lastly but not leastly is Helmuth in the Red Bull. So we'll try and pick out somebody who is on a lap, and it looks like we'll just jump on board with Bonifay and see how he's going to go on this first lap of this evening. In fact, he's already done a lap, 1:15.313, so come on, Gavin, let's get your act together. On with Kears, Aston Martin. Kears goes third with a 1:16.110. James, go for plan B. Plan B, James. On with Rossi. Then round the grandstand section he goes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. 3 laps full. And 1:17.586 for Rossi in the Williams, and that puts him into P7. On with Rossi 46 now. Round that tight left and right hander. Oh, nice little lap there for WRT Rossi 46 with a 1:16.594. On with Banisher Bain. Driving the Haas this evening. And over the line he goes in 17th place with a 1:17.705. Or sorry, 9th place. 9th place. Sorry, concentrate, Gavin. That's 12th position for John DT. Sorry about being a little quiet tonight, but I'm saving my voice for the race. I have been on every night this week and I have virtually lost my voice. Some amazing racing this week, so I'm just going to take it easy through the quali sessions and we'll save it all up for the race. Out with LFC James. Oh, he's getting hindered. Somebody in front needs to know how to pull over. Nevertheless, he might get a little tow. And James over the line in 12th place. Safe at the moment, but not safe. 6 minutes and 13 left of Q1 and still a couple of people still to go out. Suspension has left the session. I don't know whether he's got a quali ban, but I'm on with H-Town. Oh, decent lap there by the kick driver, and that's a 9th position for H-Town. That should have him safe in the Q2. On with IBM. I think you might, well, it's up to you. I think you might be okay, but it's a gamble. You have a couple of boys behind you there, the likes of Sid and stuff. Anyway, I can't be seen to advise you on line, buddy, so you just have to do your own thing. On my IBM, he's trying to better he needs to be getting into the mid 117s here. That's a nice 8th position for IBN. That gets him through to quali 2 safely. So LFC James is in the drop zone at the moment. Evening Maverick, how you doing, sir? Good evening, Andy. Good evening, John. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for all coming back. As I said earlier, I am just being a little quiet tonight and saving my voice for the race because I have had a flat-out week and some absolutely amazing races this week. But tonight, it's all about WERC, and it is Mexico this evening. And apologies for the late start. One of the lads was having a little bit of an internet problem, but we're off and we're running. And we're on with LFC James at the moment. And he is going to try and better his 1:17.590, which should guarantee him a position in Q2 if he makes that work. So let's ride on board with him as he goes through the stadium section here into the right-hander, and we'll give him a full lap. I've been giving this young fella a little bit of coaching, so he hasn't had much practice for tonight. He's asking me lots of questions online and I'm refusing to answer them. Tonight I am mutual. Once I log on to the Twitch, there's no more coaching. Into the left he goes, round to the right. He's actually 1.3 tenths down on sector 1. So he's in danger zone. And the likes of John B could knock him off the step here if he doesn't pick up. He's made up a bit of time in sector 2, so he's about a tenth up at the moment. So he needs a really good sector 3 here. Five grid penalty collision with Banisher. That's for Porky Lemur. James puts in a very nice 1:17.023, and that gets him up into P7, which secures him nicely into Q2. On with John DT, he's trying to beat that 1:18.4, but he's off the track. Has he left himself enough time to get over that line? I think he has. I hope he has. Nope, he hasn't made it. It looks like Sid, John and Suspension are all not making it through to Q2, which is really unfortunate. But there always has to be people go down, unfortunately. So, Gavin Bass 1 brings you the results of Q1, and that is Bonifay 1, Setters 2, Keers 3, Emery Balls 4, Almighty Cloud 5, WRT Rossi 46.6, H-Town 7, Rossi Woe is 8th, LFC James 9th, Porky Lemur is in 10th but gets a 5-place grid penalty, IBN in 11th, Daza 12th, Banisher being 13th, Helmeth 14th, 15th. Sid and John unfortunately didn't make it through. So they're on the little waiting step Just like waiting for a wee bus coming along. Why are you skipping Kears? Didn't realize I had. Didn't realize I had. And John, yes, you're very welcome, but I'm having a little quiet qualifying tonight. I am keeping my voice. Good evening to Experkick. Are you a Kears fan by any chance? So we're going to ride on board with Kears, and Kears seems to have a fan in here tonight called, what was his name again? Can't remember his name, can't find it on Twitch. Riding on board with Kears. Nicely done there. A 1:18.110 for Rossi, but we're still staying on board with Kears. Cracking lap there from Kears in the Aston, puts it in provisional P1 with a 1:15.186. Bonifay with a 1:15.7. Almighty Cloud just behind him with a 1:15.7. 1:16.4 for Setters. Porky gets a 1:16.531. IBN a 1:16.8 and a 1:16.9 for Rossi. Dazzle 1:16.9. Banisher Bain, he's into those 1:17s. And we're down to Helmuth there in 1:19. Rossi 46, 1:18. And Emre Boz has still to put another lap in because he must have just done a slow lap there. I'll be back with you in just one wee second and we'll ride on board with H-Town. So 7 minutes and 40 left, and I have a nice big cup of coffee now. And it is Keir's right out there in a 1:15. He's retired. He's happy with that. And the people in the drop zone at the moment are, well, LFC James and Daza are vulnerable, with Banisher Bain and Dank all going out on more laps, more than likely, with WRC Rossi out there getting warmed up for another lap to try and save their position in the Q2. Good evening, Commandare. How are you doing, sir? Here's had an absolute flyer of a lap there, a 1:15.1. I wonder, can anybody put it in the 1:14s this evening? On with Helmuth. Oh, you are Anthony Kears. Good evening to you, Anthony. Brilliant lap, sir. Absolutely well done. Have you got a 1:14 to give me? Please say yes. You'll get me excited. I know you've got a 1:14. On with Helmuth here. P14 at the moment, and he's trying to better a 1:19.943. Oh, better it? Absolutely betters it. Puts it in P6. Fabulous lap from Helmuth there in the Red Bull. Banisher Bain trying to save his skin, so he needs a 1:16.8, 1:16.7 at the moment. He's slightly down on his previous time, so Banisher Bain's not looking good here unless he really picks up about 3/10 in the last sector 3. So let's see what Banisher can finish with here. Oh, 117. So not good enough for Banisher on with Dark Fibre. Or Dank Fibre. He needs to better that 116.7, 116.8. He needs to get in there. Currently riding on a 117.158. So we'll stay on board with the Red Bull and see if he can do it. On the DRS he goes. Bonifay puts in a 114.731. So Bonifay has just entered the 114 club. Incredible lap there from both Bonifay and Keers. Come on, Dank, let's have you. Into the first right-hander he goes. All eyes peeled on the top right-hand corner, and let's see what we can get in Sector 1. He's 1.5 tenths up at the moment, and that could potentially be well on target for a position in Q2. He just needs to continue bettering each sector by a small margin, and he could find himself in there. Anyone just viewing in, I'm Gavin Bass 1, and this is WERC on a Friday evening league race in Mexico. He's now 2 tenths up, so he's doing exactly that. He's now into the 116.9s. So he is just very, very close to getting into the top 10 here. I would say maybe P8 if he really gets her going. Maybe not. Oh no, P15. He didn't have a good sector 3 at all. So Dank Fibre could find himself in the drop zone very seriously here. Who else is battling for a place? On with LFC James. Let's see where he is compared to his 116.9. And the sector 2 will tell the story. Oh, he's nearly 4 tenths up. That could be enough to get him into about P7, P8. He just needs to get a really nice end to this lap, and LFC James could make himself through to Q1 or Q3. This is a lad that is definitely improving, and there you go, P6 for LFC James. What a lap, and very well done, young man. Okay. Rossi, whoa, in P13 in the Williams. Last chance saloon for the Williams driver here. Round the right-hander he goes. Let's see where he ends up at the end of sector 1. It's absolutely crucial that he gets a couple of tenths up. Well, he's about 1/10 up at the moment. Now, 1/10 is everything here. He just needs to make that about 2 to 3 tenths, and he could get himself a place in Q3 this evening. Come on, Rossi, let's have you. That's nice and smooth round there. Into sector 2, he's half a second up. Rossi is going to knock Helmuth off the podium, off the, grid for Q3 here. That's absolutely certain. Fabulous lap there, P7, absolutely, and Helmuth drops down into 11th position. We're on with H-Town. Into sector 3, somebody in the middle of the track, but he was okay. And he puts it into P10 with nearly 4 tenths improvement there. So he has just put Setters down into P11, and Setters looks like he's not going to make it through to Q3. Now that's very unlike Setters, and this looks like the end of Q2. I don't think there's anybody out at the moment. Porky's out there. So Q2 is finished, and Fonafe puts in an amazing 1:14.743 with Keers in second. Emery Ball's third, Almighty Cloud is in fourth, IBN 18 fifth, James in sixth, Rossi is in seventh, WRT Rossi is in eighth, Porky Lemur ninth, and H-Town is in 10. Setters, Helmuth, Daza, Banisher, Bain, and Dank all out of Q2. So relax, lads. Get your strategies ready. And James, you would be better going on to plan A again. So it's starting to get a little bit more tense as we get closer and closer to the race start. We're now in P3. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and this is WERC on a Friday night. And we are in Q3. Aston Martin driver Keers, LFC driver, he's the McLaren, Almighty Clouds in the Mercedes, a lovely mixture of cars here, H-Town in the kick, Williams, Rossi Woe, Aston Martin, Fonafe, Ferrari, IBN 18, Racing Bull, Porky Lemur, Kick, WRT Rossi, and Haas off Emery Boz. So the 2 Aston Martins are through, and the 2 Kicks are through, and everything else is a different manufacturer. So they've all leaned out the fuel. They've lowered those pressures. They've done every wing adjustment that they can do. They're trying everything to get the most out of these vehicles now on Q3. And let's see if we can get one more person at least into the 114s. Good evening, XMR Puffins, and welcome to you. On the Porky, Racing Bull, 210 miles per hour before he goes into this right-hander. Takes that quite nicely, actually. All of those apexes taken perfectly. Into the DRS zone he goes, heading up towards this next left-hander. Again, nearly touching 200 miles per hour before he slams into the left. Into the right he goes. Porky Lemur driving the Racing Bull this evening, trying his best to get a really, really, really good lap this evening. Much love gave from Dank. Much love back. Looking like a fairly solid lap this, actually. He just needs to get sector 3 perfect. He's going to be in the 115 somethings. Oh, he didn't make it. So he's P1 provisional, but it's only a 116.160, knocked off the clock already by Almighty Cloud with a 115.467. Here's is out there. He's going over the line with a 115.5, puts him in P2. LFC James out there going over the line in P4 with a 116.6. On with Rossi. Looks like he may be jumping into the pits, actually. Am I right? I am right. On with Fonafay. Here he comes. He's the man to be watching. Beautiful 114.864 for Fonafay in the Aston Martin. Right in there now. A second, well, sort of 7 or 6 tenths up on Almighty Cloud in the P1 there provisionally. On with Rossi Woe in the Williams. No, he's in the pits. Let's see who's out on a lap. All out with LFC James. He's already put a lap in, so I'm not staying on with him. IBN. Into the pits he goes. Porky's in the pits. LFC's in the pits. H-Town's in the pits. Rossi's in the pits. WRT's in the pits. Emery Boss is out there now, and he is ready for his first lap in earnest of Q3. Riding on board with the Haas of Emery Boss, and off he goes. Taking absolutely every single millimetre out of the track here is this Haas driver of Emery Boss. Oh, he's fast. He is fast round those S-bends. Absolutely flying. Into the stadium section he goes. If this is not P1, it's definitely top 3. This is a fast lap. P2, 115.118. Doesn't quite manage the 114, but manages a second place on the grid. Super lap. bottom three guys, the two lads in the kick and the one guy in the Williams, are going to leave it to the very last session. They're going to throw everything at the final lap. They're obviously conserving tyres, and they're just going to give it one absolute blast. One out lap, one lap. 4 minutes and 16 to do it. Right now, Fonafe is in provisional P1, 1:14.864. Emery Balls in second. Almighty Cloud is in third. Keir's fourth. IBN is in fifth in that Ferrari, and Porky Lemar is in the Racing Bull in P6. LFG back in P7 in the McLaren, and it looks like the kicks are starting to waken up and come out of the pits now for this very, very crucial last showdown. Almighty Cloud just puts it over the lap, gets a 1:14.992. So the Cloud does us proud, and he puts it into P2 in that Mercedes. Well done, Cloud. Great, great lap, sir. So the 1:14 club is starting to fill up. 2 of them in it at the moment. Let's see if Kears can better himself on sector 1 here. Oh, he gets slightly impeded there by the Williams. Unfortunately, Kears is a 10th down at the moment. IBN has retired. So it's all eyes on these 3 drivers. That's H-Town, Rossi Woe, and WRT Rossi, who's on a lap at the moment. On Rossi Woe He's in the Williams, just going to see what he can do there. Emery Boss puts in a 1:14.661, puts it in pole, so 3 in the 1:14 club. James improves into a P6 now with a 1:15.754, with Forkey a 1:15.574, and Kears with a 1:15.5. He gets a P4. Rossi goes over the line in P8. So there you have it. There's the end of Q3. Emery Boss in first. Second is the Aston Martin of Fonafay. Then Almighty Cloud in P3 in the Merc. The Aston Martin of Kears is in P4. Visa Cash App Racing Bull is Porky Lemur. LFC James in the McLaren in P6. IBN in P7 with the Ferrari. Rossi Woe is in the Williams in P8, and WRT Rossi 46 in the kick in 9th, and his teammate H-Town in 10th. So it's that team of the evening. It's that team, and we've got 15 viewers. Thank you, everybody, for joining the stream this evening. This is Gavin Bass 1 on a Friday evening, covering the WERC race at Mexico for this F1 Racing League on a Friday evening. This evening we're in Hernandez Rodriguez track in Mexico, and it's round 4 of the championship here in WRC. This track is 4,204 kilometers long. It's got 17 turns. It goes clockwise, and it's situated 2,285 meters above sea level. The lap record currently held here at the moment is by Valtteri Bottas, and the pit stop lost time is in and around about 27 seconds, with 2.5 seconds of that being stationary getting new tyres. There's a 20% very low chance of a safety car, but quite a high chance, 80% of for getting a virtual safety car. In the Drivers' League at the moment, Fonafay is leading the league with 72 points, Almighty Cloud with 63 points. Commandery is in 44 points in third position, and Emery Boss 33 points in fourth. And fifth is Raging Hawk, who unfortunately is not with us tonight, is in 25th. Those are basically the standings right up to your top 5. If you want to see where you stand in the league, you can jump onto Discord under driver standings, and you can see everybody's standings right down to the last position. So right now they're in doing what they always do on the grid. They're adjusting their tire pressures. They're choosing what tire strategy to go on. They're lowering their fuel load to make sure that the car is running as light as possible, and they're maybe making slight adjustments to their wing, and those are really the only adjustments they can make at this stage. So it's going to be a good race, this. This is a very, very challenging track. It's not a difficult track for the first 4 or 5 laps, but in my memory, the back end of this track gets quite slippy as your tires start to wear. So as you're coming in around the S-bends and heading up that fast part of the course into the grandstand stadium, and through those final few chicanes and S-bends at the end, you can find that your car starts to get very, very squirrely at the rear end, and it's very, very easy to lose traction. So tire management and good positive stops and getting the tires in on the right time can be vital here for grip. So it's going to be very interesting to see who goes out on those medium tires, soft tires, or hard tires first. With the safety car being such a low percentage, it would be my personal choice to go out on the hards first and take that risk and try and keep my track position hoping that there's no safety car. If you're a pessimist, well then you could possibly stick on the medium tyres, hope for the safety car, jump in, and then jump on to something different in the tyres and maybe put your hard on. And if you're a total pessimist, you can go into the pits very early after 2 or 3 laps on the softs, get yourself some clean air and run the hards and then the mediums, or vice versa. But anyway, no matter what, and I think there's a few people will agree with me, tyre wear will dictate this race, and I would say it could possibly be definitely a two-stopper. But you always get one person that tries to push the tyres as far as they possibly can, and that one person is normally very good at keeping the tyres in good shape throughout the race, and that is a little art in itself, something that a lot of people could do with learning, because it's not all about getting around that first corner, second and third corner. It's all about getting those tyres heated up nicely and getting the best out of those tyres at the best times in the race. When to push, when not to push, when to, harvest your battery, when not to harvest your battery. All of that goes towards tyre wear, and it's quite amazing to see some of the people that will be on the hard tyres after lap 7 and lap 8, if they've looked after them for the first 5 or 6 laps. It's quite amazing just what a speed these guys can get out of those hard tyres if they look after them. Safety is the game. Absolutely safety. Just tuck in behind the person in front of you. Put them under pressure. Keep your distance. They'll make a mistake. Make the easy overtakes. Take them on the DRS. Those are all the tactics we know what to do. No point rushing it into that first corner and taking people out of the race. Nobody wants to see any of that here in WERC this evening. So we're coming very close now to the start of this race at Mexico. And it looks we've got a formation lap on the go, and that gives me a great opportunity to get the tyre details up now and see exactly what strategies everybody is going to be using tonight. In P1 is Emery Bos in the Haas, and he's on the medium tyres. Bonifay right in behind there, P2 on the medium tyres. Almighty Cloud driving the Mercedes tonight. He's on the medium tyres, and LF's Kears, is on the medium tyres. So the top 4 lads on medium tyres. James has decided to do something different, and that's always refreshing to see. He's going to try the hard tyres, hope that there's no safety car, and just try and hold that position on the hard tyres. And then whenever those hard tyres go off, he should be in a good little position. IBN mediums on the Ferrari. Rossi driving the Williams tonight. He's decided to go out in the mediums. WRT Rossi 46. He's gambling and he's going for the hard tyres. H-Town, he is on the mediums. Porky in the Racing Bull is on the medium tyres. Setters medium. Helmuth in the Red Bull. He's given us a lovely wiggle there. Thanks for that, Helmuth. And that is him on the mediums. Daza in the Mercedes out on the medium tyres. On the hard tyres this evening, it's Banisher in the Haas. And then you have Dank. He's out on those mediums. Then another hard runner is Sid in the Alpine. John DT has decided to go on to the hards. And I would be quite behind anybody that's having to go at the hards first here. I think it just might be the strategy, but it's all going to depend on those safety cars. Suspension in P18 in the Ferrari out on the medium tyres. So they're all lining up. The track data's up, the telemetry's up. We're just waiting on those lights here in Rodriguez in Mexico. Here we go. Yiba, Andre. 5 red lights, and they're away. Looks like Emre in the Haas has got a really good start there. Oh my good God, there's carnage. There's carnage, and it looked like an Aston Martin off Hears was involved in that. Don't know who else was involved, but that was bad. It looked like somebody went right into the middle of the track. Dank has got a broken end plate. Almighty Cloud has got broken end plate. Suspension looks okay. LFC James, broken end plate. Right hand end plate broken on that McLaren. So there's been carnage at the back, and there's a lot of trouble there on the start of this race. I think the stewards are going to have to put their kids to bed and stay up late tonight, because somebody was big time at fault there. I didn't quite catch it, but somebody's going to put a ticket in there. Somebody just whacked themselves into the middle of the track and took 2 or 3 guys out. That's what I think anyway. But the yellow flag has gone, and we are going to ride on board with each driver and start to see exactly what's going on. Helmuth has got an incredible 6 positions upwards. Sid's 5 up, John DT's 5 up, and Helmuth has 5 up. H-Town is 5 up, and I'm just going to run down them now, and then we will form an opinion of where everybody is in the race. Emery in first, Boniface second, Rossi is third in the Williams, H-Town in the kick, and WRT Rossi in the kick. Porky Lemar is in 6th in the Racing Bull. IBN is in the Ferrari in 7th. In 8th is Helmuth in the Red Bull. The Merc of Daza is in 9th. The Alpine of Sid is in 10th, with John DT behind him in the McLaren. Right behind him you've got Banisher in the Haas, and Suspension is in 13th position there at the moment in the Ferrari. Setters 14, and LFC James 15, Almighty Cloud 16, 17's Kears, and Dark Fiber Dank is out of the race. Dank has retired from the race, and that is very, very sad, I must say. Let's have a look at the stops to see who went into the pits. Setters, LFC James, Almighty Cloud, Kears, and Dank were all obviously involved in that first lap, or second disaster. Oh, nice move from the Aston Martin there. Not one thing wrong with that move. That was a beauty by Emery Bawes, and he just showed Rossi the way there. And that was a beautiful move by Emery. On the Porky. Excuse me. Oh, he leaves that brake very late there, but he gets away with it. He nearly tapped the back of the kick of H-Town there, but controlled it nicely. 1:18.721 for the Aston Martin of Boniface. Fastest lap so far. Lovely overtaking move there by Porky, and takes H-Town out of the kick, and that's him up into P5. He nearly got it a little squirrely, but he held on to it nicely. On with WR Rossi. James, how the heck are you texting while you're driving? On with Daza. Oh, I love this view here of the low wing. Right in behind the Ferrari of IBN. On with John. John's in a nice little battle here with Sid and Banisher. So that's Alpine, Haas and McLaren on a little mini battle here. So let's just follow them and see how they get on here. Tight stuff going on here between these three drivers. There's a kick-off, and that looks like WRT Rossi has lost it on the corner. So John's up in the 11th, Banisher's in the 10th, and the 9th position of Sid is being challenged. And Sid is all over the back now of Helmuth, and there's lots of mistakes being made now. The race is young, and anybody could win this race from the positions they're in right now, apart from possibly suspension. It is far from over, and a lot can be done on the Banisher. Helmuth gets a 10-second penalty now for a collision. So he's going to have to serve that penalty. It came flashing up on my screen there. On with Sid. Oh, he gets out a bit late. Doing really well in behind Banisher. So it's the Alpine versus the Haas of Banisher. But just look at Fonafé. On with the Aston Martin, 3.1 seconds of a lead. He's been down to the fish shop. He's put the batter on it, and he has it resting on top of the cylinder head of that McLaren, and it's cooking real good, like a fish chop. So the medium runners at the minute are in P1 to 5, and there's no real big changes in there at the moment in terms of stoppages or tires. Then you go right down and everybody is separated, and there's nobody in a battle at the moment that I can see. So that's commentary nightmare, but we're on with H-Town. He has a wee bit of a DRS pull maybe on Daza here. So we'll just see if he can make a few positions closer and make a move on the Daza car, and that's the Mercedes. He just might be able to do it on the DRS zone at the next section, which is round this left, and right. I'm not sure he's close enough. Suspension gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. And LFC, James, has DNF for some reason. And there is Rossi. Whoa, spun out. Oh, goodness. And an Alpine has to... Oh, what happened there? 10-second penalty, a massive collision with Sid. So this is not looking terribly smart tonight. I'm not too sure exactly whose fault that was, but that didn't look so good on camera. So there's a yellow flag out, and I don't know if it's a safety car, but LFC James retired from the race. Dank is out of the race, and there was a little bit of battling going on. 10-second penalty for severe collision with Sid, and Rossi Woe gets that. Bonifay's running away with it now with a 6.5 second lead over Emery Boss in the Haas. Then you have H-Town. He's trying to make some gains on Daza. But Almighty Cloud right now is trying to make a move on Setters into the left-hander. I think he's going to make this one work. I think we're about to see Almighty Cloud getting P8 here. He's got the DRS. Setters has nothing he can do about this. And you've got that beautiful overtake on that Racing Bull. And that puts WRT Almighty Cloud into P8. And he's now going to chase down the Almighty Cloud. Put my wing in the wall, and then I got really annoyed and retired. Well, James, all I can say to you is this. You were wrong to retire. Absolutely and utterly wrong. And I'm disappointed that you've done that, because safety cars can come out and the next minute you're sitting back in the grid, maybe P10, P11, fighting for the points. So you never retire from a race, especially when it's only lap 9. But you will learn as you get older. So massive separation on the track now. Bonifay, P1, 9-lap-old mediums, and they are going to start to be showing some serious wear and tear. So he's going to be coming into the pits, if not this lap, possibly the next lap in the Aston Martin P1. P2 is Emery Boss. He's also out on those 9-lap-old mediums. He's in the Haas, and he also will be jumping into the pits real soon. IBN having a great race this evening, P3 on the mediums, and he is driving the Ferrari. But those hard runners are going to start to be gaining pace now, and that 9-lap-old medium will definitely be looking for a change. On the Banisher, he's on the Haas, and Rossi gets a wee bit wide there, and Banisher sees that. Into the left he goes. I think we're about to see a move here, and I think we're about to see Banisher getting himself up into P6. There's nothing that Kick will be able to do with the pace here with the DRS. And he's definitely vulnerable. And here it goes. Oh, he didn't get enough pace on that DRS zone to make the move, so he's going to wait, and he's going to try it again on the main straight. Still 57% of the battery left, so he's got lots of power to do it. And there's the medium guys going in now for that first pit stop. Rossi 46 doing a brilliant job there, holding off Banisher. I must say, that's really, really good on with WRC Rossi. And there's an outside move being made with a Kick on the Haas. And that's Banisher and Rossi really battling it out round these lefts and rights. Just about giving each other a bit of room there, but there was a little touch there, but it was nothing more than a racing touch. Another touch from behind there. Looked like Banisher gave him a touch back. So there's a wee bit of aggression going on here tonight in Mexico. Now, one to watch is Kears. He's in P12 at the moment. He's on line lap old hards, and these hard runners are now going to start to make a difference to this race. So keep your eyes peeled on the guys that went out on the hard tyres and that are going to keep them on the hards now for probably quite some more laps. And let's see what the time differences are when everybody has made their stops. Excuse me. Kears is going to make a move here. He's just lining John DT up in that McLaren, and I think he's going to make a move right now. He gets the pace out of that right-hander. John's going into the pits, makes it easy for him. Kears goes up into P11. He's going now chase down Daza. Banishers in P8, and he is still trying to make a move on Almighty Cloud. And Almighty Cloud is right in now behind Rossi. So not a bad little race going on here. Let's have a look at this one. Let's see if these guys are going to behave. Had wing damage for the last 4 laps. Yes, I know that, John. I don't know what happened, but there was something not good went on for a while there. It happens. It's racing. Just disappointing to see such smashage on the first corner or the first stretch of the race. That's just carelessness probably. But anyway, the Rossi gets it real wide there, and he gets taken by both Almighty Cloud and Banisher. So mistake made, positions gained. That's what happens in racing when you're just patient and you sit behind and you do the pressure job. So job well done for Cloud and Banisher there. Setter's now up into P7. He's starting to make some moves with Porky right behind him in the Racing Bull in P8 on the hard tyres. 7 laps. Rossi's just put on a set of mediums, and he's going out now in P12. So I would say Rossi could probably pick up a few positions here now. Setter's P8. Have to go on with Emery Bawes. He is really making a move on Hightown at the moment, H-Town. And Emery is all over him like a bad rash. And there's nothing can be done about that. He makes that one sweet and easy. Emery Bawes into P2. Takes that really, really wide. Really should be getting track penalties for that, because that's just not good. Don't agree with that whatsoever. But it's not my league and it's not my decision. But you shouldn't be able to run as wide as that and not get points. It gives driver advantage. I firmly believe that the strict corner cutting should be on, and you take your medicine for being outside of the line. Porky Lemar makes a nice move there, and Porky's up into 5th position. Setter's now in 7th, and he's making a position move too. He's got the Haas on the outside, and the Haas and the Racing Bull really giving it each other loads here. And Setters gets into that P6 position. Rossi just makes a move too, and he gets rid of Helmuth and gets the the Red Bull behind him, and he's now tracking down his teammate H-Town in the other kick. On with Daza. Daza's driving the Merc P8. 3-lap old hards, and he's in a nice little position at the moment, and I fully expect Daza to make a move here. Can he do it? Both got DRS, so don't think he can do it here. He's in a train, but he's got 70% of battery. Coming up behind him, making the move. Oh, that's nice. Inside it goes of the Haas. That's Daza, P6, but they're battling it out. Daza gets the position, and Daza leads the track, and off he goes. He's now chasing down Banisher. Yellow flag. Why is that? Let's have a look. Oh, Ferrari's off. Suspension's off. Let's have a look at his car and see what's happening. He's all over the place, so he's got damage. Suspension's in real trouble here this evening. He needs to be very careful. He's got absolutely no front wing whatsoever, and the last thing you want is to cause a safety car. Looks like Banisher has DNF'd. What's happened to him? Oh, there's wreckage here as well. Banisher's out of the race. The Haas is out. Here's 10-second penalty for severe. Oh, this race is going tits up. Absolutely tits up. I have a feeling we're going to have a safety car here. Maybe not. Yeah, I think we maybe do. I'm not too sure. But anyway, it looks like Banisher being out of the race, LFC out of the race, Dank Fiber out of the race. There's damaged cars of suspension running around the track at the moment. Let's see if we can pick up any damage. Suspension's been in the pits and got sorted. Here's is clean. John's clean. Sid's clean. Rossi's clean. Setters is clean. Helmuth all looking okay, and I think the race is back to speed. And Bonifay's right out there, 13.5 seconds of a lead. He's had a tyre change. Let's see the stop situation. There you are. Stops have been made. They're probably on tyres now that they could get to the end of the race. I don't know what happened at the start. I'm going to watch it back. And I'm sure the stewards. It looked like somebody went into the middle of the track and took several people out. I don't know what happened though, or how they ended up in the middle of the track. At the end of the day, it's going to be the stewards that sort that out. On McKeers. Nice move for the Aston up into 13th. He's got John D in the sights now. Shouldn't have retired, James. Definitely shouldn't have retired. That could easily have been a safety car there, and you could have been right back in the race. You threw points away there, but that's just experience. You'll get that experience as you get older and as you do more races. Setters P9. Oh, tries a wee inside cut. Doesn't make it stick, but he's going to get the DRS here. Setters is going to make a move. You know you wouldn't have finished. Your head was gone. Well, again, that's down to experience. There you go. Setters in the 8th. Nice move over H-Town. Or sorry, over IBN. I've just actually noticed that IBN's running with a right end plate missing in the Ferrari. He's in P8, so he's going to be nursing some of those corners and compromising himself through downforce and traction until he gets that changed. So he's a sitting target on the Helmuth. There's that cutting corner again, and really, honestly, that should be track limits written all over it. And that. As I said earlier, it's the owner of the league's choice to make the rules. I'm just a commentator, but every now and again I think it's worthy of my opinion, and my opinion is that the track limit not being on strict is being abused, and I honestly think everybody should be accountable for keeping it on the track. Just my opinion. On me each time. Lap 20 of 36 here, and the penalties, there's a few penalties coming in now. Let's have a look what those penalties are. 10 second for Rossi, 10 second for helmet, 10 second for suspension, and that's a mixture of collisions on the course and possibly speeding in the pit lanes. I'm not too sure why they got those penalties. It'll all be on the race director later. On McKeers. Okay, James, see you soon. Tucked in right behind, trying to get the draft off that Williams of Rossi. Don't worry about it, buddy. Come back another day. But don't be retiring from races. Take my advice on that one. And you're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Raging Hawk. Nice to see you, buddy. Not too many battles going on here now, Hawk. How's it going? Okay, I'll tell you how it's going. There was a massive crash on the first 300 yards to 500 yards at the start. I don't know whether it was driver error or impatience, but lots of bashing going on in the first 500 metres. Somebody, I think, wanged into the middle of the track and took 2 or 3 people out. Then there's Banisher, LFC James and Dank Fiber have all DNF'd. There's a wee bit of damage on some of the cars now at the moment. Rossi's carrying a 10-second penalty and suspension's carrying penalties. He's still out there with no wing. So I would totally advise suspension to come in and get the wing changed. My phone has just run out of battery, so I'm just watching the screen for messages now. In fact, I'm just going to actually put it on. Yeah, they're looking quite good, buddy. Not too bad. But this Ferrari is causing problems on track. He's running with no wing. He's running with no wing. He's jumping onto the track like that. He's causing trouble everywhere. And love me or hate me, suspension, but you need to sort your shit out. All I can do is say what I see, but suspension is now retired. And we've got a yellow flag. I'm just trying to pick up on exactly what's going on. Yeah, it was a wee bit stressful. It was late to start. IB was having trouble with the internet, so we had a late start, and I'm losing my voice from during the week, so I'm trying not to talk as much as I usually do tonight, trying to save my voice for the weekend. It's been a scrappy, messy race, and The one thing that I'm not overly keen on is this track limits not being on strict, because there's abuse of it going on. People are taking corners wide. There's no penalties given for it whatsoever. I just personally don't think it's good for racing. Safety car, coffee, smoke, in that order. I'm going to try and get my phone working because it's stopped charging. I'm going to try and connect it to my battery charger. But I'll try and answer any chat. I don't know whether it's meant to be on strict or not, but there's moves being made wide here, there, and everywhere, and there doesn't seem to be any 3-second penalties being picked up. So I presume it's not on. Anyway, I've got my phone charger connected. I don't know whether I have any battery. Yes, I have a little battery, so it'll charge up in a minute. I'm sure it's meant to be. Well, we'll find out. But if you'd watched the race from now, from the start to now, you'll have seen so many wide corners being made and not one 3-second penalty along the right-hand side. I don't know, but this has been a dodgy race. I would say the boss is going to have something to say about it. I'm just going quiet for 2 or 3 minutes here just to get my coffee, buddy, and I'll get back with you ASAP. Hope you're not too stressed out with all those kids around you. Looks like the safety car is going to be coming in this lap. I'm just finishing off my coffee. So we'll just get it into that P1 position and get it into the broadcast mode and let you all see the restart of lap 25. 11 laps left in Mexico. This is Gavin Bass 1 and WERC Racing on a Friday night at Mexico. Lots of debate going on tonight and lots of things going on. Maybe IBN 18 got himself into a bit of a fluster with his internet connection and stuff and maybe forgot to put the strict tracks on. I'm not too sure honestly what's going on, but have a look at the race at the front at the moment. It looks like Fonafay and Emery Bos having a little battle here around that right hander, and Fonafay gets that nice and neatly done. Just tracking everybody down here. Nice outside move done by Almighty Cloud there, and he takes the kick of H-Town. Nice move by Almighty, but it's close, and look at Rossi. He gets double taken there, and he gets 2 positions down. Setters and Porky just took them both there, so nice move there. And somebody's just pulled in over to the right hand side there, and it looks like that was the Alpine. Not too sure what was going on there, just maybe giving positions back, I'm not too sure. I'll be back with 1 wee second, just. Okay, Gavin, let's get back. Let's get focused on the last 14 drivers. Suspension DNF, Banisher being DNF, LFC James DNF, Dank Fiber DNF, Bonifay P1. Lap 27. Let's have a look at the tyre situation first of all. There's your tyres. So the 4 lap old mediums I don't think will go to the end. The 4 lap old hards of Rossi can go to the end. The guys on the soft tyres are going to get there's a 10-second penalty just handed out for somebody there. In the Red Bull, I think it was. I'm not too sure. I just need to get focused. Just trying to get my phone back on so I can talk to you back. On the setters, P5. So James DNF'd and he done the wrong thing by DNF and he retired. There's all those big wide moves being made there and not a penalty in sight. Helmuth gets a penalty for some reason there. Let's have a look what that penalty's for. That's 10 seconds, so I think that was for a collision possibly, or else I don't think it would be speeding in the pit lane, I don't think, because let's have a look at his tyres. No, he's got 7 lap old softs on. So I'm not too sure what Helmuth did there. On with Porky. The Aston Martin of Keir's going round the outside. See, outside of track limits again there, and an overtake made move. So definitely, I'm not a fan of this. Be interesting to hear what your own opinions are. Setters a slam here. There's a Ferrari cutting the corner. Did you see the Ferrari cutting the corner? That was IBM. Yeah, it seems to be a wee bit of like a multiplayer vibe to this race tonight, which I don't like. A 3-second penalty for IBN there. Rossi for the win, says Raging Hawk. Yep, I think that could be on the cards. On with John DT. Let's give John some love. He gives me plenty of love. Might as well watch his beautiful overtake on the Alpine. Can he make it stick inside and outside, tire by tire, wheel by wheel? And John makes a beautiful move there on Almighty Cloud, who has now looking like he's retired. So it looks like Almighty Cloud is out of the race in the Mercedes for some reason. Don't know what's happened there. Very nice move indeed, sir. Porky Lemar, P7. I'm back up on Twitch again so I can see all of the chat. Feel free to chat away, guys. On with Porky. Can Porky make the move on IBN and that Ferrari? Rossi, 10-second penalty for ignoring a blue flag. Ferrari gets the inside line there, holds off so far, and the Racing Bull just had to back off slightly there, and he gets it very squarely in behind the Ferrari, and he's going to have another go here. But if he just stays patient, he'll get it on the DRS zone. Is there really any point? Anyway, if you can make passes like that, yes, there's absolutely every point. That's clean as a whistle, and that was a beautiful move there by Porky in P6. All totally separated now, and I'm going to have a look at the stop situation. So everybody looks like they are on the tyres that they, well, no, there's a few soft runners out there. They might change, they may not. But anyway, Fonafé, P1, and I'm going to look at the position changes now. And 10 positions up for Daza in P3 in the Mercedes, also carrying 0 penalties. So that's a blaming good drive by Daza in the Mercedes in P3 at the moment. Nobody really battling, so it's time to go down the cars. Bonifay, P1 in the Aston. P2 is the Haas of Emery Boz, 4.2 seconds behind. In third, Kears gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. All of a sudden the warnings are starting to show. Not too sure what was going on, but I've seen so many warnings. Maybe they just didn't count. Maybe I got it completely wrong. IBN, P7 in the Ferrari. So 5 DNFs now. Almighty Cloud has joined the DNF crew, and he is now, and now looks like Kears is out. Kears is out of the race, and there's a yellow flag, so Kears is now out of the race. And was there a problem there? What happened to Kears? So difficult to pick up on these incidents. Don't know if he spun out or not, but it hasn't affected the race. The race is continuing on, lap 32. 4 laps to go, and we've now got 6 DNFs. Rossi. Rossi's now tracking down Daza. There's the move. Beautiful move. Rossi's on fire. He's also been to the fish shop. He's battered that fillet, and he now has it resting on the cylinder head of that Kicksauber, and that fish is cooking. And Gav's talking shite. Daz wants that position back. He's not going away. You would think so, but Daz is definitely holding them off at the moment. H-Town making a move on the Ferrari, makes it stick in the right-hander. The Ferrari goes a bit squirrely on it there, and H-Town, the first time I've done commentary on this kick driver this evening, H-Town is having a fabulous first race with me in the kick P6. Omadaza. He's now got the Williams, or the Racing Bull of Porky coming up. Yeah, never seen him before, and he's doing very well, he is. Carrying 0 penalties. Don't know how clean he's been. I haven't seen him up to anything wrong anyway. That Williams of Rossi is getting a toe. Yeah, I think Setters has possibly been involved in one of the accidents as well. Hawk, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure. I've been distracted tonight between one thing and another. My voice has sort of gone. I'm a bit lethargic after the sort of start of the race and stuff like that. But like, I'm not being critical or controversial whatsoever. It's just it hasn't been the best of races in terms of racecraft. You can see there Porky going right off the track, but no penalty. I just don't understand it. It got started about 20 past 8. Of course, I had all the videos and the intros all running. Lost a few viewers, but thankfully I think they came back again and they've watched the race. No big deal whatsoever. I'm not pissed off with that or any of it at all. I'm just a commentator and I can just commentate on what I see. It might get some people's backs up, but I'm only telling you what I see. In P1, Funafay. In P2, Emery Boz. Let's have a look again at those tire positions. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But with my OCD, I like to be absolutely prepared. I have everything timed so it all sort of coordinates with the start time. It's IBN. He had a problem with his internet. It's no big deal whatsoever. I just like to be really, really prepared and on time and everything just running slick. Then I know I'm not going to have any problems. But these issues happen and it's no big deal at all. I'm sure the pressure was on him, to be honest with you, because it's rotten when that happens. P3, H-Town. As long as Daza in the Mercedes keeps that car on track, and as long as he hasn't been involved in any major penalties, he's looking like my driver of the day with that very, very great increase from P15 into P4 or P whatever it is. Raging Hawk, by the way, our races have no 5-minute wait tomorrow, just so you're aware. Not sure if you've seen it. No problem at all. No bother whatsoever. Almost headers. Oh, that's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful move by Setters, but the Ferrari driver just not letting it off too easily. But Setters makes that work, and IBN just had to really try hard to defend there, but just couldn't get Setters out of his system whatsoever. Nice move, H-Town. And looks like your race leader is over the line. That's Bonifay. In P2, going round the corner with a nice bit of drift, is Emery Boz, P2. In P3 is Rossi in the kick. P4 is my driver of the day, it's Daza. H-Town and Porky having a little battle outside of track limits, touching each other there, racing hard to the very end. And it looks like, it's a battle to the line. Looks like Daza P4, H-Town P5, Porky P6, Setters P7, the Ferrari of IBM P8, Rossi Woe P9, John D P10 in the McLaren, the Alpina Sid P10 or P11, and Helmuth is in P12 in the Red Bull. Here's Almighty Cloud, Suspension, Banisher, LFC James and Dank all DNF this evening at Mexico. Not a bad wee race considering, but I'm sure there will be a bit of chat, and I'm looking forward to looking at the start to see how that major incident happened. Misfits Jones, thank you Gav for your commentary. Yeah, looking forward to what everybody thought of the start. How did it happen? You know, I know these things happen, but it'll be very worth looking at for sure. There's the stats from the games. Fonafay. Rossi got driver of the day. WRT Rossi got driver of the, or most overtakes, and the cleanest driver was Fonafay. But Daza got my driver of the day because he kept it so clean and gained so many positions. The director of the race is important so that I get all the incidents in, and I'll scroll down them so everybody can see them. Lots of 10-second penalties, DNFs, all the rest of it. They're all in there for the stewards to scroll through whenever they need to. Yeah, it sort of took the fight out of me as a commentator as well, to be honest with you, when that happens at the beginning. I need to learn to stop letting it annoy me too, but it just does spoil the race whenever people try to win it on the first 500 yards. But it just could have been a simple mistake. But I'm sure the stewards will look into it and they'll get to the bottom of it, and they will try and find out exactly where it went wrong. Anyway, it was Gavin Bass won in Mexico with WERC on a Friday night, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the race standings for next week and see who's got all the position changes. At the minute, Fonafay's leading the league with Almighty Cloud second. Commandery is in third, and Emery Boz is in fourth, and Raging Hawk is in fifth with 25 points. That's all going to change, and I'll be back next week, and I'm sure everybody will have a little look to see what all was going on and how we can maybe improve it. Not nice to see so many people DNF and so much damage done to cars during the race. There has to be something just tidied up to make it better. But all the drivers are all learning, and they will get better as the season goes on. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and I'm going to leave you with the little air show and the little intro I put together for you that you probably didn't get to see at the beginning of the stream. Thanks to everybody who runs the league as always, stewards, admins and owners. Thanks to all the drivers for attending, and I really look forward to doing commentary for Pure Speed Syndicate tomorrow night and Sunday night. And I will be right back with you next Friday night. Nothing will put me off doing comms for this lovely little league. All you drivers need to do is tidy your acts up. I'll see you all next week. Gavin Bass, over and out.
The stage is alive. Crowds are roaring, you can feel the drive. Mexico's the place the world has come to play. Gamers locked in, it's the battle of the day. The tension's rising, hands on the keys, every move echoed by the energy. And through the air, one voice we all know, it's giving coal in every blow. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Kevin's voice like thunder in the sky guides the battle where legends will run. From Seoul to Berlin, they've flown far and wide to clash in the games with the nations side by side. Strategies collide, the world is watching every fight. The crowd is chanting, the match is tight, headsets glowing in the neon light. Gate and shout makes the moment explode. Here we go, it's the final showdown. World esports, Mexico tonight. Pixels burning, future shining bright. Kevin's voice like thunder in the sky guides the battle where legends will rise. Victory's calling, the champions know only one team takes the crown home. But here in Mexico, the spirit's the same. The world unites in the power of the game. The world esports, Mexico tonight. Hearts are